And Den.Social. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Dragonchain, 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 Dragonchain. Mine 10 blocks on the blockchain. My ETH father for the got paid. These records selling like they hotcakes. We go to the moon like we don't got breaks. If you want to transact on a marketplace, Dragonchain, Dragonchain, Dragonchain. Dragonchain, 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 Dragonchain. Mine 10 blocks on the blockchain. My ETH father for the got paid. These records selling like they hotcakes. We going to the moon like we don't got breaks. If you want to transact on a marketplace, Dragonchain, Dragonchain, Dragonchain. My ETH costs more than your rent. I spend my life savings, get a 10. Dragons get the hottest coming next. Me and Joe Rose making bets. All this shit seem new to me. Fix a blockchain with security. Keeping data safe is the fluency. How could you not fuck with the company?
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.
All right, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky, the Dragonchain Update Show. This is episode 1/58. That is, sorry, it's 1/59. It's 0x159. Yes, that's right. It's the 346th episode over 6 years, weekly AMAs. Reminder, nothing on the show is financial advice, and I'm not suicidal. Let's see here. First off, stay tuned after the updates for an AMA, and we have a couple of cool things today. So first updates, Dragonchain. Last week's distribution of lot for this program was 376 lot. 2 questions for 94 each. Host received 94. Dragonchain received 94. And for the patent portfolio tokenization update this week, I'm going to show you at least one of the 3 documents we expect to come out soon. And I'm going to just share that right now, I think right here. So this is the patent portfolio document. It originally had a lot more stuff in it, but I just trimmed it down to focus entirely on the patent portfolio itself and the tokenization of that IP. So, we'll just kind of walk through it, but I want you to see what is in here. And you know what I'll do? I'll probably make it like this, even though maybe it's a little harder to read, but at least you can get a little better idea of the structure of it. So, innovation, legacy stuff. But then here's the big part where essentially this helped me a lot, actually, because I'm not an expert on patents for sure, but this is the structure of the patents that Dragonchain holds: tokenized micro license, interchain, and then a broadened scope, and then blockchain scalability, security, and time, the most important part, and then security and AI enhanced social media forum, that's DEN, and then enterprise smart contract orchestration. There's some actually really cool stuff going on around that right now. As all the patent details, when it was filed, when it was granted, a high level of what it is. And then we go straight into each one of them where everything, patent, the filing, the grant date, the domicile, I guess, the inventors, the assignee, which is Dragonchain, let's see here, expiration dates, general description, examples and use cases, and then a link directly to documents related, right? So then we have interchain, same thing. This is the original, the first interchain patent. As I believe that this, at least at the time, this was the fastest blockchain patent ever granted. It was August, let's see here, September, October, November. So it was like three months, which is crazy. Frankly, for a patent to get granted. You can see, and we have the patent itself, we have the assignment page, and we have the Google patent of it. So probably got to make that more clear. USPTO patent, anyway, whatever. Still a little bit of editing to do. AI enhanced. What did I miss? I missed the block time. There's the time patent. A lot of detail around. So this is the Den related patent. With links. And enterprise smart contract orchestration. One of my favorite ones. Good description, same details. Then market potential use cases. We talk about the size of these potential markets. Interchain is huge. It's probably even bigger than this, but this, I think these are pretty conservative estimates on the various industries or the various markets that these patents could have play in, right? And I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. The patents combined with the capabilities of what Dragonchain can do makes it a little more important than a lot of times it might be, because some of these patents describe things that are very intensely valuable, known to be valuable, but the generally the industry, and I say the blockchain industry, the crypto industry, has kind of ignored different ways to tackle those problems and to implement those features. So this is very much an interesting situation if we, and maybe that's why they came after us. I happen to think that's why, but that with these capabilities, we can really compete. We can really build some stuff that will be meaningful and long lasting and bring a lot of value to the market. So, AI governance and auditable AI, huge. So this is the patent category. We do have that one AI patent, which has relation to behavior and prediction markets related. And so super interesting to anybody in that world. And that's a huge world now, right? Anyway, AI, and you think about it, AI and a combination of the human behavior side, but prediction markets is pretty interesting. So, and then we go through each section where we basically call out what can be done, kind of use case examples. What's this titled? Sorry, I'll make sure. Yeah, market potential and use cases. So use cases in the various markets, AI auditable logic and ethical automation. This is going to be huge, if you ask me, because people are going to realize that AI is, everybody already knows it's very powerful. The potential is huge to really change things in the world and, probably increase productivity. But if you attach your AI to sensitive information, it's extremely risky because it might get leaked. It might, if you attach it to your financials, it might spend all your money accidentally, apologize later, right? These types of things, with some of the patents we hold and some of the capabilities we have and some of the products we are building, will be directly applicable to that. Anyway, so cross-platform, interop, performance, scalability, and readiness, right? So huge stuff. Token utility enforcement mechanics. I don't want to go too much into this, but we're basically laying out what will be necessary to protect this, which, we were essentially kept from doing what we might have done otherwise with these patents, because the SEC came after us and went on a 7-year I don't even know what to call it, but some demonic operation, whatever it was, and that it basically cost us a lot of time, and yet we still have time left and we can do a lot of great things. So there will be an enforcement and bounty program, which will have some ability to provide anonymity, so that people can report in and get a bounty, because it will not be for anything illegal. It will be essentially providing information that something illegal is happening, right? So pretty interesting, and I've been told by a lot of the patent attorneys it's a very unique angle to take. There is a possibility we split that off into a DAO as well to decentralize it. Provide some feedback there. Anybody interested in that or has any ideas? We can definitely work that. Utility, compliance, positioning. So there's a lot of interesting stuff here. The bounty system itself, anonymous and legal submissions. There's a lot of important info in here. Outcome-based rewards, governance determination. That is, governance will determine how and when and, what makes sense for those bounties. Then legal and regulatory considerations. So the tokenized model, we will be using the tokenized micro license. It will be a utility software license that the token is. It will be although it was originally going to be entirely focused on wrapping this patent portfolio as tokenized IP, it is going to be much more expansive than that. And so I'm not going to give you any more info there until it is time. But that is the paper. I at least wanted to get something out there, and it won't be published yet for download for a little bit. But it might be soon. We want to, we want to figure out if we want to pull everything together at the same time or publish everything at the same time. We're going to have one paper on the patent portfolio tokenization. We're going to have one paper on the protocol itself, the technical side. I don't know if that's going to be the same paper. There will be either a section in that paper or another paper that will cover the economics and how the protocol will work on the network and the rewards and so on. And then the third paper is the incubator or venture studio. Okay, so that is essentially going to be the new iteration, the new model for the incubator, which was a very popular and very powerful thing back in the day when we first released it, and we were forced to throw it into dormancy. We didn't drop the idea. We kept actually developing on it, but we never had a clear avenue to launch it. And now we do, and there's some actually very, very powerful pieces that we didn't have back then. So it will be much, I say radically improved, just because the basis of the model itself is far more open. You can do a lot more things with it than we could back then. Back then we were focused entirely in the incubator on essentially crypto projects, or projects that, I shouldn't maybe even say that. We did do a lot of real world projects that had crypto or blockchain in them, right? So, but all of them were purposely restricted to use of a tokenized utility. So essentially it's a utility token that can do something. That was the basis. Whereas the new model will of course allow that, but will also allow purely tokenized IP, even if there's no utility. So you would, and I say that there might be utility. So I'm not an expert on the legal interpretation of that, so don't mark my words there. But the main point is that the token can be literally just a tokenized asset. So any asset, which would include an IP asset. It could include physical things as well. But all of that stuff will be plugged into it, and you'll get to read about it sometime soon. We're getting the final pieces on a couple of the elements for the incubator and getting things written up, and we will have some adjustments to do and some things to cut and some things to enhance it. So anyway, really good progress the past couple of weeks. It's been pretty amazing. So, okay, next, let's see here. We do have William I will be hosting the WBRT, the World Blockchain Roundtable today. So matches well with AI taking our jobs. Post labor economy. Yes, very well timed. I think whoever nominated that one, that's really good. So let's see here. Okay, tokenization of assets, additional income sources. Very good, very good. So that's coming. More updates on that later. We go to Den.DAO or Den.Social updates. So in the Den.DAO, we had a meeting yesterday. Or I should say William did. I was not there. I apologize. I feel bad. I was not there, but it was a meeting, and you are always welcome. It's every Wednesday. I should put that on my calendar, shouldn't I? It's every Wednesday, and you can come in here and post your any questions or requests for agenda items. Otherwise, he follows this, and there is some definite the beginnings of some really good things happening with Den, getting ready to launch a bunch of new initiatives to get things moving again. So anyway, good stuff. Next, we go to World Blockchain Roundtable updates. So in case you missed it, last week's episode, is this right? Oh wait, no, I have the wrong one here. So anyway, let's look. Layer info. Okay, managed tariffs. Managed tariffs was last week. Okay, so how a government can use blockchain to manage tariffs was last week. Make sure you watch it. And then this week, today's episode is, let's see if we got it right. Tokenization goes mainstream. Is that right, William? Is that right, Williams? Let me see. Tokenization. Oh, tokenization. Okay. Yeah, looks like it might be. Anyway, let's see if we have any questions. Yes, we do have questions. Some good stock photos for images. So watch that today. Make sure it is. It'll air today at 1100 Eastern, 1500 UTC. Yes, tokenization goes mainstream is correct. Okay, so very good. Okay, next we go to Meme Asylum updates, and there's a bunch of good info here that's been going on. Let's see. Let's look at this real quick. 1.8 million ECT has been burned so far. Current supply is only 839 million. Man, that's kind of crazy. Let's see here. We're in the middle of votes right now, which we'll get to in a minute. So DPro is still at, dang it, it's not here. You know what? I'm going to show you. You know what I'm going to do? Here, I'm going to put up a short break and pull up something, but give me a couple of seconds here, okay? Let me see, what can I play? I'll play it.
Roles of a denizen. A content creator is a user that creates posts and is rewarded based on the quality of their content. A content evaluator is a user that helps assess the quality of content and enforces community standards. The evaluator is effectively taking part in a marketplace to curate content and is rewarded for early evaluation. A content consumer is a user that wishes to find and consume the most valuable content in a given subject area or within a community. A lair owner is a person holding tokenized ownership of all or part of a community lair. Owners are rewarded with a portion of all mining activity happening within their lair. Owners are incentivized to build the best community of content creators and evaluators.
All right, we are back, and I'm going to show the new screen. This is not out yet, but essentially, we can show dark or light. I don't like the dark mode much, but it needs some updates maybe. But anyway, mostly so I can get the right info here. So look, chicken swinger's already at 2x. I pulled it to 2x, by the way. Thank you very much. I pulled it to 2x. And I don't know how far away it is from the next, but we'll see in a minute. You can see that Trumpin is at 4x, but look, Goy is at 8x. 8x. Isn't that crazy? And we can look down here. You can see all of the, you can do all your ECT stuff. You can see all the latest activity. Somebody just burned a couple of million swing. Burn a couple, 500,000 Trumpin, 3 million Goy, 34 million ECT here. Somebody minting some minting some swing, I guess, maybe. Let's see here. Then we go to nominations vote. We can see, look at this, Doomcoin at 246 million. And here's the thing, I'm not connected by my wallet, but when you vote on it, it will now, it will, when we launch this, it will tell you when you are approaching your budget so that you know how much further you can vote before you get to a point where you would have to buy ECT to cover that vote if you want to mint it on the other side. So pretty interesting, pretty cool. It'll have some little features there to help you out, which it, hasn't had. I'll show you that. So, but look, Sunshine, which I do, Sunshine Rainbows is awesome. I wish we could make it win, but you can click on this, right? I want to make it so you can, so that you can click on it in here, but you can't yet. So that's another thing. Doomcoin. I think some of our favorite people made Doomcoin. And it has 56% of the vote so far. So all cool stuff. Baby Trump goes to war. It's ridiculous. I can't even look at that. It's so disgusting. Carpet Ride, Jihadi Coin, Jimbo Jones. I don't understand what Jimbo Jones is, but either way, the mint winner, you can see the chicken swinger here, has much better charts than it had before. You can do a lot more with them. I think we're going to move it to, like, say this down here. You can, I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll figure that out. It is at 2x. You can see all this stuff. Oh, this is the thing. You can see the halving schedule here. You can see this is past the first. Here, let's show Goy, because it just did it. I guess I go to all coins up here. I go to trust the plan. You can see, you can probably see a better, come on, where's my chart? There it is. You can see much better chart here. It's pretty cool. I think the chart is kind of improved from what it was before. But look, you can see every halving marked on a progress bar. We're pretty far away from 16. Somebody just pulled it over at 8x just last night. Freaking amazing, crazy, amazing stuff. Some interesting stuff's going to happen with the NFTs, the characters in the gaming system. So pay attention. I won't show you that right now. And then achievements, which I have to connect my wallet, but it'll be pretty much the same set that you know now. And that's it. And you can see, there will be a dark mode, and we still have a little bit of work left to do on it. But 7 days left in the vote period. Now, I won't say anything else. There's some cool stuff there. White. It should be light. It says white. I forgot. I need to report that into. Okay. Anyway, good stuff. Make sure you get in there. Make sure you vote. Make sure you get ready. Don't overvote. Make sure you pay attention to your budget. You have to have enough. You have to have enough ECT to mint. You don't want to. I think it was 2 cycles ago, I totally screwed up. Ended up with like 7 or. No, maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was a lot more than that. I can't remember. It was a decent amount of in millions of ECT that I did not have enough. So I kind of wasted some. I kind of lost some ground. But either way, it's all good. Next, let's see here. Oh, make sure you're following Meme Asylum X on X for all the updates. Goy just got the 8x, 87% burn. It's crazy stuff. It's amazing. So, a very fun project, and even more fun things coming. So, and next we go to Dracaria. Welcome to Dracaria World. An entirely new layout update. Really cool stuff. Looks very pretty, very neat, very cool. And let's see here. We'll go to the spawn page so you can see there are 13 days left. We just opened up the new season and the new age. It is the third age of Dracaria, and it is Earth season. So there are, let's see here, 441 eggs remaining. These there are $38 each. You might want to get some because this is going to be a much smaller. This is the smallest season in a while, right? We can see. You go to the community hub. There's a bunch of work going on a couple of these things, but essentially, it is time. I'm going to look here. Oh, see, look, Crypto Heel gets a Titan about to hatch. It's from Fire 2, Fire 2. Let's see here. That's awesome. But I'm going to get down here if I can find it. Tempest. Look at this. Tempest from Eric 415. It's good stuff. Hopefully it's on this first page. It might not be. I want to show you. There it is, the Queen Guardian. So from Fourth Reel, this is the first dragon that hatched in the third age, and therefore it is royal, and it is a female dragon, and therefore it's the queen. So it's fire, air, fire, earth. Let's see for any good names. A Polish name. Wow. Powietrza. Okay. Ardente, burning, and Klippe. Danish is rock. Is Klippa? I didn't know that. That's cool. And let's see here. A couple of while we're in this one. Oh, look. Plus, it has celestial magic too. A queen with celestial magic. Pretty cool, and it's stable celestial magic. So it's all basically double the egg density. So very, very interesting and not a common thing. And then you go into it has extreme temperament. This is a pretty amazing dragon, right? Epic size. It's a very small female fire dragon, right? And you can look at the traits, of course, the zones, the traits, some pretty big numbers. Raw data, of course, you can look at. I don't know if you've ever looked at this, but it's pretty cool stuff. And then the visualizer, which lets you walk through and essentially, how do I say this? Some people had asked, and I totally understand. It's kind of complicated. You can look at the white paper and see how the entire chart is laid out, where if you take this genome right here, and that should not be shortened, by the way, but if you take this genome, that these are all of the bits in this number, right? And so you can see, they're one way or another. You can walk through and see, okay, if you wanted to look at the temperament, it's those two bits right there. And so its value is 3. So it's 1 0. So if it was 1 1, it'd be 4. It's binary, which makes it extreme. And then you look at the snout style. It's a level 4 snout style, and it shows you which bits they are here. It shows you what the masking is. This you'd have to know a little bit in binary arithmetic to understand this, so you can kind of ignore that. The raw value, though, is a hex value, but raw value of 5 interprets to a 4. And you get down here and you can see where the colors, companion color is the selector for the companion color. Effectively depends upon the house, and it's really cool. It's really interesting, but there's a gene that selects that. The hue, Even has the colors there, though on a dark. You know what? Maybe I should go to light. Maybe you can see it better on light. Either way, it's cool. And we will be making more and more updates. But look at the color palette. There's only this primal color red, which is right here, right? The hue, which is those. Sorry, I can't point to them at the same time. It's these bits, right? So anyway, it's 8 bits, so it's a byte. So you have quite a wide range for the hue. Pretty neat. Anyway, we also have the history. We have a couple of things I want to get added to this or cleaned up to make it more useful. So I don't know, pay attention. There's a lot of good stuff coming. And let's see here. What else should we look at real quick? We can look at Marketplace just real quick. By the way, the background's pretty. Look at the background. It's nighttime here. That's pretty cool. Very nice piece. A very nice touch, I think. So look. Oh my gosh. Look at that one. Express Crypto selling a kill. Oh my gosh. Fumbler Dragon killing a freaking killer. These are amazing. So is this one. Anyway, look at that though. Man, $800. I don't know. That's expensive, but it's probably worth it. Very cool. Okay, a Tempest for sale for $500. Oh man, what is it? What level is it? Yeah, what is it? Info 247. Okay. Anyway, nice stuff. Also, if you go here, go to merch, click on that, and get some merch. I want to expand it, of course, but we don't make a lot of money there, but you can get some cool merch anyway. And let's see here. Let me go. That is the Dracaria update. Make sure watch for more updates coming soon. We're working on one game actively. I guess we're working on a couple of games for Meme Asylum. We're trying to figure out how to kick off the second game that we're doing on Dracaria. And then there are a couple of other third parties that are also building games or other characters on Dracaria. So really good stuff. Moving forward, we're definitely making some really good progress. So pay attention. It's all good. Let's see here. Now let me go to this right here. Dracaria. Make sure you're following Dracaria World on X. Very important. It's where all the updates are. You can see all of the new hatches. You can see new season events, things like this. There are some pretty cool giveaways, and some really interesting things with the royalty, with the royal line. Okay, that should be coming out soon, but we have to test one thing before we launch that. So I can't remember the account name that got the. I'm blanking because I'm seeing the other names in my head. They got the royal, but one way or another, pay attention because you will be getting the royals. I do believe get one key for every season in the age that they are declared the king or queen. Their regnal dates, their regnal seasons, their reigning seasons, however you want to pronounce that. But the other thing was, and I'd forgotten this until Jason told me that we had also said that you will get a single key in every age if you have one of the royals. So super interesting, right? Pretty cool. So make sure you're following Dracaria World on X. Okay, next, let's see here. Okay, we go now to the AMA. So very good stuff. I'm going to refresh it. Hopefully, let's check the comments. Anything new? Yeah, dark mode rocks. Very good. Yes, Stevie Wonder. Very good. Let's see here. We go to the AMA. I'm going to refresh now. So hopefully you got in your question. Hopefully you're happy with the question. All right, first up, I am for I am. Question, Eternal was for tweets. What would you like its reboot to eternalize? And do you think this is something people would pay to protect and preserve on a blockchain? Excellent question. It was mostly reserved for tweets, and that was kind of just something that took off really well, and got some pretty big press attention on a couple of occasions. But it was actually for anything, right? You could make it crawl a website, and it did a decent job at it. It wasn't perfect because every website's different, but it would essentially capture the entire website, HTML, and put it on chain. The other was for an announcement or a note that you could put in it, and it used markdown syntax, so you could actually do some styling with it. And I used it for a lot of things there, and including for contests and Dragonchain announcements and things like that. And we did have a period of time where we had functionality that would allow you to sign a tweet, because it was something we were trying to demonstrate to Twitter at the time, and they just didn't get it. Even though they were trying to figure out various of those things, but we were trying to show them that they could better secure premium accounts. That it would have been a really great source of revenue for them way before Elon Musk came in and bought Twitter. So however that works, we had that there, and we just didn't have the resources to really kick it off and do what we needed to do with it. But now we're working on that. So we have a couple of things coming, which I'm thinking something like archival on the one side, but also commercial use in terms of I want to make my announcements there. You could white label it, of course. You could put your eternal note on your own website, for example, in a news section or something. But the beauty is it would be, number one, signed by your org. Super important, super useful, especially in this world with all the scams going on. And second, it would be on chain. So you could both prove that, you'd say you're a customer of some project or a fan of some entity, that you could prove that this announcement really was made by them. It wasn't a hacked account. And you could also prove that it has not been modified since that happened, right? So super important. And I do think people will pay for that. And I think people will pay also for the ability to store their tweets. And we will probably do something where there will be a low, middle, and high tier, and then a beyond tier. But most of the enterprise or commercial side of things would be in the highest tier, and the regular user tier would be, and I'm thinking $5, $10, something like that. The regular user tier would be able to put tweets on chain, interact with the Twitter bot, would be able to. There are a couple of other surprises, like say for the archival, where the ability to run a bot on your local box or something, that so you would basically get access to this bot and probably to a mobile app. But if you have any paid level, so if you're paying at all, you'll get access to other things where, and when I say a bot, it would be something that would, anything that you posted to Eternal, whether it's a tweet, whether it's from the tweet bot from your account, or whether it would be something that you typed a note in or had it crawl a website, that would essentially automatically be pulled down to your own hardware. So, and the whole purpose of it is that it's a hybrid system. So Eternal is not by itself fully decentralized. So the main point is Eternal provides the proof via Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the Dragonchain network itself. Whereas if you then pull your document with your transaction info and the verification info, then even if Eternal fully goes away, you have something that's independently provable because it's tied to Bitcoin and Ethereum and other blockchains. So that's the gist of it. And we'll make that bot available. And, you know, maybe it would be available to everyone. I don't know. Maybe it might make sense for us to even make the bot available if you want to pull down everything, or if you want to pull down all tweets or all info from a certain account that gets posted, right? So anything that's a tweet from some politician, you would automatically pull it down. So it would basically be all of us doing our best to archive this info because they're wanting to erase history, which, you know, we all know that. So that was a long answer, but that was a great question. So hopefully that makes sense, and that's coming. That's coming. I already have a bunch of stuff, you know, new website, new interface. I'm working on some of the pieces now for the some of the functionality. You know, we have the development environment newly set up, so I'm going to be getting in there and testing some of it. So amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Great question. Okay, next, free press. Why is there a max and 75% button for meme asylum voting? I accidentally max voted millions of ECT and there were no warnings about losing it all. I think this is a fatal UX error. I think so too. Do you envision any creative solutions for this problem? This is an amazing question. I'm really sorry about this. How about making it possible to claw back ECT and reduce votes 1-to-1, either during or after the voting cycle? There might be something creative there. I'd have to think about it. The issue with clawback is there'd be so many there would be so many things that you could do to attack the system, because you could vote up something like crazy that you intend to pull entirely back, right? It's the point of burning is it's done. In fact, I mean, the current implementation, it's a literal burn. So it's not like the contract's holding those ECTs. It's literally going away. So I like the thought to be able to do that, but that's the point. It's crypto, so it's, if you mess up, you know, it's, and I agree. I was the one who really pushed, Lee can tell you this, trying to get that budget stuff in there, because I myself did that. Millions, okay? Many millions that I messed up with, and I lost ground, right? Now you could do something, and I'll say this, but the problem is there's not an infrastructure to do it. You'd have to have friends that you trust that are in the system, and you might. What I did is I went to some of the smaller accounts and I said, hey, I've got like a 4.9x or something, right? So I have a 4.9x. Who wants to come in with me? You know, like a cartel. Like I have this 4.9. If you guys send me some of your ECT, I will burn it. And I almost got up to as much. I still never made enough. I think I had like 20 million off or something crazy. But some other people got some, you know, good tokens for it. But it had to be people that, you know, really close with that trusted me and everything. But what I'd like to do, frankly, is have the ability to set up cartels where, you know, various groups could use the contract and not have to what do I want to say? Not have to trust someone, you know, to do it in a purely decentralized way, but where you could see which cartels are active. You could go on your own, but you could essentially go in with some cartels, and they would always know, here's how much room there is, here's how much people put in, and in the cases where somebody overvotes, then other people would be able to take up that space. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff like that would be possible, but it's not there yet, and that's a kind of a complex thing that I don't know if it would even be worth adding that. But yes, we should also, I do think we should get rid of the max and 75% button. We should do something where it would even be a budget. I want to vote up to budget. Like I voted on 3 things and I have whatever left over. I don't want to have to calculate all of whatever. So yeah, that would be very valuable, I think. So good, very good call, and apologies for that. I feel bad about that. That's horrible. I hope you're still playing though. If you aren't, look. So we see that is done on the new system. So beautiful. So yeah, apologies. There's some UI stuff, and I think the funny thing is I think we're making really good decisions on a couple of fronts with the UI. That some of the UI much of the UI is generated with AI, and so the funny thing is that I noticed that it's copying bad practices that other crypto projects do. And so we're, with the new system, we're actually cleaning up a bunch of those things, making it much. And it's not even bad practices on the crypto front. There are some layout things that just frustrate the heck out of me, that it's doing. And so we're like, okay, adjust this, because that's crazy. But it's because the interface world, the UX world, it's totally dropping the ball about right now. You can look everywhere. You can drive your car, generally just the stupidest decisions on interface stuff. So anyway, great question though. I'm going to give you more. I'm just going to give you all of my energy on that one. And I can't be on the roundtable today. So do make sure it'll be a much better show about me there. I need less stress today, and I need to get a whole bunch of work done. So apologies, I won't be there today, but William will be hosting. So thank you, William. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And every participant in that AMA with a unique question will get credited for 1 question. And so we only had 2 today. So that's very, very good stuff. I reserve the right to revise and extend my remarks. In closing, make sure you get some Dragonchain and Den merch at the Dragonchain store. Good stuff. And make sure you go to the Dracaria merch store, which is linked from the Dracaria website in the nav. Get a Got Fire shirt. I'm wearing my Dracaria white on black shirt today. Very good stuff. And that's it. I think make sure you watch us again next week, same time. Super happy Dragon Lucky. Make sure you watch the World Blockchain Roundtable today at 1100 Eastern, 1500 UTC. Follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, Dracaria World, Meme Asylum X, and Jojo Row on X and Den. And that's everything. So let's get out of here. I have no new comments, I do believe, and we will see you soon.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.